live at a moment's notice. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is True Power is Mine. This is Tpim SR Live, y'all. Today we're back in the saddle again. I got a very special guest, Dr. Randy Short, coming in live on the phone from Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. And he's going to incite us, illuminate us with what's really going down with all these radical agendas. Doctor, you still there?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm here.
Awesome.
Hey, how is everybody out there? No, I got some quickies. Well, not quickies like you'd understand, but information quickies.
Exactly.
You know, we got it. All the Malik Yoruba folk out there, they would take quickie to mean something other than what I meant it there. So I want to put an addendum to that. All quickies aren't Malik Yoruba or Malik yogurt quickies.
That is some sloppy
Speaking of that, you know, Denzel Washington was a prophet. Remember the film Philadelphia? And he asked, how did a gay man fake a yogurt? Fake an orgasm?
Oh God!
It's about throwing hot yogurt on his boyfriend's back. That's in the movie. I didn't make it up. I saw Philadelphia because they had it on TCM. And so throwing hot yogurt, and I was thinking yogurt and Yoruba. It's almost a prophecy because Philadelphia came out in 1989.
Yes.
I think. So,
and that was like at the height of the little AIDS epidemic.
Yeah. But no, it was basically to show Denzel Washington, who is like the prince of blacks in Hollywood, to get black folks to accept the gay agenda. And that's why, but Denzel Washington, unfortunately, didn't get any kind of award. He just used you
used him like
to
a
put
$2
yourself
hooker.
out there. And the award went to Tom Hanks, who was looking like like the spotted Pink Panther when he had all those Kaposi sarcoma spots on his face.
Oh my God, we got some chatters.
I just want to talk about disease for a few minutes, and we're gonna go into politics now. Brother in St. Louis, have you heard about this thing called chemsex that's been going on for about 4 or 5 years?
No, I haven't heard that.
Oh, yeah, it's the big rage. It'll be in America soon. And you know what? For all the black gay folk out there, you're stupid. You think nobody cares. Nobody is paying attention. Just want to tell y'all, this chemsex it's aimed at you. Y'all going to be the ones that get hurt, destroyed. Baltimore and D.C., don't forget the Motor City, Atlanta, and all the places where black folk just have to pretend that God made another sex other than man and woman, and want to pretend that a square peg goes up a round hole.
What?
Okay, since y'all believe that, I just want to put out a public health warning. Chemsex. Chemsex is when people mix cocaine, methamphetamine, ketamine, GBH, and methadone, and other drugs, things that are poppers, things to loosen up your anus so you can get it slid in, and something that can keep you erect. And people can have sex for up to a week nonstop.
Oh, God. Hey, how's it spelled, Doctor? How do you spell chemsex?
Like, you know how Earl Flynn be swashbuckling, be sword fighting everybody in the scene? Okay, yeah, that's what's going down.
Oh my God!
And all over Europe, from east to west, west to east, north to south, south to north, the rates of HIV and AIDS are exploding all over Europe among white men.
Sure.
And inasmuch as we have fallen, stupid, sellout, traitor Negroes, anything degenerate that whites do, they must do 10 times more. They will follow. The black men, the kind you see that walk around with chaps to show they have a big behind and their white boyfriend, these kinds of people, we're going to see them get caught up in the chemsex scene. We're going to see a huge number of black men start dying, I believe, by the beginning of this year coming. You heard me say it. 2020 will be the year of black men getting into chemsex.
Well, Ed Buck has already opened the door to that, Doctor.
It's already, it will be, and the die-off will be much worse than the AIDS epidemic that I saw happen in the late 70s and ran into the 90s.
Right.
And it's going to be a lot of these little dumb young black men with your pants sagging. In fact, we won't have to worry about sagging. They won't be walking around anymore.
Nope. Gone off this
the
earth.
chemsex, it's there for you. Nobody can warn you. They're trying to keep Christian counselors and other people. No one can pray with you or reach out to you and show you the love of Christ. And this is all set up to get y'all to destroy yourselves, your white allies who will hoard the HIV and AIDS money for themselves and let you die. Same way they're letting you die in silence now with septicemia and other things. It's going to be quite devastating, brother. Brother Truth, it's going to be quite devastating. So it's going to be all over, and it's coming. It's coming like a massive tsunami towards our community. Our crooked, no good, morally compromised and morally bankrupt pastors, and our degenerate athletes and entertainers and others will say nothing about this. It's on its way. You can hate me all you want, but I'll tell you a quick story. There's a Negro tried to stab me in my back because we were trying to do something decent out in Prince George's County. And on the day he betrayed me, I told my cousin, he'll be dead in a year, so I won't argue with him. This was July 2014. He died July 2015.
Wow.
And by the way, I said to my friend, he'll call me from his deathbed and I'm not going to respond. And he did. And it's like, I says, I'm going to keep my word. He broke his, I keep mine. I want to warn black men like I warned my 3 friends who all died from AIDS within a year of each other, get out the game.
Get out.
It's not going to be fun anymore. And our economy is about to go into slowdown mode. If you really do think that when the economy slows down, that they're going to want to spend money on black folks who had deviant sex parties, you've lost your mind.
Right.
They'll let you die like they let the people die in the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
And by the way, the black community is lacking money like never before. There won't be a lot to be generous with. People won't have it to be able to keep you in their houses. You putrefy.
Bro. Yeah.
It's not going to happen because, in this instance, because people can't do it. And the generation of people that used to care, they're dying.
Yep.
And the little young millennial generation that don't care about nobody, they don't care. And I want to say something else to y'all, just so you'll know. In Baltimore, where I'm working, they shot a young gay man 17 times. That's awful.
Wow.
Awful. 17 times. Because he's, tranny.
Right.
Male prostitutes. Shot 17 times. In Florida, they took a boy, about 20, and set him on fire in a car.
Oh, God.
I'm really angry about that. That's part of my support for the woman running for Congress. Her name is Reba Hawkins, running against Elijah Cummings, that bankrupt, broke down Negro in Baltimore. That we want to stop the killings of these people. No one has the right to kill anybody. But this young generation that's had this gayness shoved down their throats, a lot of folks are not like you or me, brother, who will talk and disagree but be civil.
Yes.
They take people out. They kill people. They have set up folks who would get lured into this stuff.
Right.
And they'll leave you to the most vicious people in the black community or the most indifferent people in the black community. Folk need to get out of that game. Most people, if they're like my mom, who are counselors, who don't want to lose their license, are not going to go out on the edge to get discredited and hurt.
Right.
If you're a set-up tester to go around and ask and see if anyone says anything critical of LGBTQ and then go and get them stripped and get a lawsuit. These white gays have created the perfect storm for black gays to die. And it wasn't done by the black homophobes. And you know what? The way that people run into court and lie and do all these kinds, no one's going to want to touch people. We're talking about a leprosy on steroids.
Yes.
Coming.
Yes.
So y'all will have done this to yourselves.
Trying to play
done
the
this
damn
to
game.
yourselves. We understand pedophilia and trauma. I absolutely want people to get help, heal yourselves. We understand this stuff is an epidemic in our community. But going from the pan into the fire and then blame us for the pan and the fire, it's not working. It's not that kind of party.
It's not.
So chemsex, CHEMSEX, look it up. They're movies celebrating it. And it's all the rage. And they're going to probably make a movie and have some young black boys be the stars of the chemsex movie. And they'll get Academy Awards. And then we'll watch all the stupid Pied Piper type coons run out and commit suicide. And then blame the black folks who aren't doing what they do for not giving them everything they want. I didn't know this going to happen to me. Damn it. You should know a lot of things happen to you if you do what you're not supposed to do.
Exactly.
So anyway, I just had to put that out there. That's a public service announcement. It's probably going to get you pulled off YouTube because anything that warns people. You know, I got locked out of Twitter.
I can believe that.
Because I put out a public service announcement that pedophilia was not a civil right. You know, they said that was exploitative to children.
Oh my God. These people are so twisted.
I screen copied it. I want people to see that there's a whole move to destroy people.
Yes.
Being done. And most folks, they see it as a freedom. So you know what? You will have the freedom to commit suicide. I believe they're going to make a law for that. And so if you just want to kill yourself, it'll be legal. The only problem is the coons will be too afraid to do it.
Boss needs me here.
So why would I help black folks going to hell early? I'm going to live as long as I can so I can help bring y'all down. I don't want freedom. I don't want justice or equality. Even though the white folks won't reward me, someone will see that I hated my own people as much as they hated them. Okay, anyway, that's how some of us are. Anyway,
they're looking.
Politics, as I mentioned.
But doctor, before we go to politics,
I'm running a candidate against Elijah Cummings. Her name is Reba Hawkins, a powerful sister, a businesswoman that employs 200 people. And Elijah Cummings has been in office almost 25 years.
Wow.
He's the biggest sellout slave next to John Lewis and Clyburn from South Carolina. And let me just tell you that this man has allowed, if you hear about the lead poisoning in Flint and in Newark, and in fact in Baltimore,
that's his handiwork.
What you need to know is that he is the person who could do something that sits on the committee that could make a difference. And he won't even do it, even though his own district has a serious lead poisoning problem.
But he's probably like Maxine Water. He don't live in that district.
He does live in the district.
Does he?
But he lives in the gated community with the white folks and others.
So his water supply is probably cool.
And his wife is a crook, and they steal money. And $16 billion has been sent to Baltimore to fix it up, has disappeared. Nobody knows what the $16 billion is.
Wow.
Now he's screaming about impeaching Trump. And my thing is, we need to impeach the CBC. That's who I want to impeach. I want to impeach John Lewis. I want to impeach Al Green. I want to impeach Eddie Reagan. I want to impeach Maxine Waters. In fact, Maxine Waters doesn't respect anyone. The way I see it, Maxine Waters owes James Brown some trademark infringement for the wig she got on. She should be she should be giving money to the James Brown Museum down in South Carolina, wherever it is. I mean, this is just absolutely sacrilege. It's blasphemous. These people are just absolutely horrible. And we absolutely should be against them. But Reba Hawkins is a pro-family, pro-black, pro-blacks getting access to capital and credit to be in business. She is an advocate for giving people abandoned housing so they can live in it with dignity. This sister's pro-life. Stop killing our babies and raising them. This woman has been doing that. Elijah Cummings is the most useless, crooked politician on Capitol Hill, and they used him as an attack dog. And you know that dude, he looks like he's a hoe.
Right.
And he is one. And his wife, oh my God, his first wife, he had at least 2 children out of wedlock with his first wife.
Oh man.
How do you marry someone and your wife know you got these other babies and you're in Congress, dude? Damn, that's stupid. And those are 2 children that we know of. There may be more.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know how all these Negroes want to be Johnny Appleseed?
Mm-hmm.
And yet they want everybody to see them as moral leaders.
Exactly.
If you're a hoe, just be a hoe. Be a pimp. Why do you need to be a pastor?
Wow. Because they want that residual income?
No, because they want Negroes to look up to them. They want to be celebrities. Everybody wants to be a damn celebrity. Satan wanted to be a celebrity. That's why he couldn't get along with God, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost. What's wrong with being you? Just being an ordinary person, Joe Schmo or Schmo Ho, whatever you want to call yourself.
Well, that's not good enough for some people, Doctor. I mean, it's like the people that you were describing were Judas goats. They are leading us to the slaughter. They're not keeping us from the slaughter. They're willfully leading us into the grinding pit.
It's true. It's true. And they seem to get off to doing us in.
Of course, because they get rewards. They get a pat on the head. Oh, I accept you now, boy. Shine my shoes.
They get pat somewhere else, too.
Oh, I didn't want to go there. But you're absolutely right. A lot of this goes back to the power play of sexual deviance. They want to be outside the norm because for some way and somehow it fulfills their sick psyche. It fulfills their need for power or need to be abused. Both sides of the fence.
Have you heard about this BDSM? They have this sort of torture sex, perversion torture.
Yes, I've heard
of black men that let white men reenact slave scenes. Where they're examining their private parts and looking in their mouth and doing stuff to them on a slave block.
Oh God, no!
This is what gay blacks are, traitors, to make fun of slavery like that.
Oh God, I never heard it said like that, Doctor. That's infuriating.
It's real. It's real.
I mean, they're probably doing this for nothing.
Doing that. Y'all traitors doing that. We're part of the community. Damn, you bring the community down doing stuff like that.
For real. I mean, it's almost as bad as some of these comedians out there. The way that I get it, they're just jokes. But a lot of those jokes.
No, they're not just jokes. A lot of those folks are minstrels. They're nothing but minstrels to white supremacy. A lot of these people.
Mm-hmm. Because
you know what? Dick Gregory did stuff for the movement. Lots of people did stuff. I mean, but these folks now, it's all about them. And they make more money than ever before, but they're bigger coons than ever before too.
So you see, the level of coonship rises with the level of money. Look at Don Lemon.
That's how it looks to me.
Homosexual. He probably has something against black men, whatever happened in his past. I believe he said he was molested or something, which, I feel sorry for him.
Who, Malik Yorba?
Oh, no, I was talking about Don Lemon.
He was molested. I feel badly about all of the people molested.
Yes.
Let's get help. Let's get healing.
Yes.
Let's get counseling, and let's do better for one another, by each other. Stop glorifying. If you didn't want your AH split when you were 8,
right?
Don't celebrate it and make it seem like Oprah Winfrey was saying, shout out your abortion.
Oh my
Abortions can
God.
be traumatic for women to get. You're killing a baby, and it's also traumatic for the mother to get the abortion,
Right. This is
even if it comes to her later. You get where I'm coming from? Why is she saying shout out your abortion? Why are they telling people to celebrate the bad things that have happened, the tragedies? That's, you know who used to celebrate? White folks used to make sports with lynching and pain for black
yes.
folks. Now you got sell out cool liberals who are celebrating black suffering, black people losing their way. This is sick.
This is sick. It's a part of what I always refer to as the culture of death. We're living in a culture of death that glorifies killing, glorifies everything that's wicked and deprived in this world. It's like I guess said, if you want to get rich in this world, all you gotta do is break every 10 commandments, and you'll be rich before you know it. Uh-oh. You still there, doctor?
Yeah, I'm here. No, I was talking some truth to this Hispanics to start making noise.
I didn't know if the NSA killed the line or not. They're good for that around here.
Trump's gonna win again.
Now, what about this impeachment rally that they've been having on the Hill lately?
The what? Now, well, look, they want Trump out, and we know that Trump is special. We know that Trump is Trump doesn't know what he's doing half the time, but he's learning.
Well,
he's on the wrong ass learning.
I'm going to say it. Nobody else will. Trump is being led by the Spirit. Now, I'm not saying what Spirit's leading him, but he definitely has a spiritual, let's say, Patreon looking out for him. I know people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. That's where we're at with this. Now,
the fact that he got rid of Bolton, that little I am the walrus looking deviant, that was his national security advisor.
Walrus.
He does look like a walrus that needs to, get a facial.
Absolutely.
And he's a degenerate man. If you ever heard about him, he used to take his wife to Bohemian Grove and want her to have people run trains on it. What kind of man wants another man or men to run trains on their wife?
A very sick cuck.
And he knows something about defense. He ain't defending his own.
Wow.
If you let somebody run a train on your wife, I wouldn't want you to protect my country.
Oh, maybe that's the reason why the country's so whacked out when it comes to defense. Yeah, that's a great analogy. I mean, if you can't protect your own poontang, how can you protect the main thing, which is the nation?
He's not even protecting it. He's handing it out like canopies at a Playboy party.
Wow.
My God. Jesus, help us.
This is the level. This is what happens when an empire is dying. When a nation's dying, what we're talking about now is what's happened. That's what's happening. Our nation's dying, doctor. Our nation's sick. Our nation's run by a bunch of psychopathic pedophiles. And until we get someone or something in there to shake that mess up, I'm not talking about draining the swamp. I'm talking about getting the sickos out of positions of power, because what happens, one sicko gets in there, then he invites off his buddies like a cancer cell, and it spreads out. That's why you got people from the local level all the way to the federal level having weird sex, doing a bunch of drugs, and sitting there embezzling money out of every fund. We have to stop this mess.
It sounds like the black church.
I
went there. Yeah, I did.
I before you go there, could you please give people out your Cash App? I want this to be a fundraiser. I want to raise funds for you, Dr. Short, and Sister Gaines and Brother Ron.
We've been working. I just want to tell you again, I'm working as a campaign strategist, clergy liaison, and spokesperson for Reba Hawkins. She's running for the the United States House of Representatives, 7th Congressional District, against Elijah Cummings. One of the main reasons is because at least 1 in 6 black children suffer from acute lead blood poisoning in Baltimore. Baltimore has about the worst lead poison problem in the country.
Wow.
Which is why you've had 250 murders thus far this year, and roughly 560 people shot in addition to those murdered.
Yep.
This is linked to lead.
Lead makes
They
angry.
use methadone, a very awful heroin substitute that messes up your kidneys and internal organs. They've got thousands of people on methadone in Baltimore. Baltimore has 621,000 people and easily 70,000 addicts to go with that population.
Wow.
Elijah Cummings has been in office almost a quarter of a century and has done practically nothing. In fact, Elijah Cummings, within the last few months, 4 or 5 years ago, I went to Cummings at the Flint hearings and asked Elijah Cummings, why are you just talking about Flint when your own people? I have family in Baltimore. I've had family in Baltimore 300 years, brother. I asked him, why not do something for your own constituents? They're poisoned by lead too. And he told me he would. It was a lie.
Mm.
So when you hear Baltimore is the murder capital of America, but it's also the lead poisoning capital of America, Elijah Cummings knows. And as the chairman for the Congressional Oversight Committee, he has the power and the ability to do something as he did for Flint. Notice nothing happened for Flint. It took forever. That's the committee that Cummings has power on. These are black folks with some power that will not use it to help black people. We're not talking about throw a brick through the window and curse the white man and go out. We're talking about getting a couple of smart people together and writing up a policy and walking the halls of Congress and getting your colleagues to support it. If Adam Clayton Powell could do this,
yes,
56 years ago, don't tell me that this black, when there were like 4 blacks in Congress, that Elijah Cummings as the committee chair can't do that with 53 blacks in Congress.
Mm.
These people are cheerfully watching us die. Washington, D.C. has a serious lead problem. Newark, New Jersey, where I also have kinfolk. Chicago, we have a lead poisoning problem across America, acutely impacting black people.
Right.
Elijah Cummings knows, and he, with the mafia princess named Nancy D'Alessandro Pelosi, I'm saying her maiden name because her brother, Thomas III, and her father, Thomas Jr., were mayors of Baltimore. They were in the mafia. They worked to bring heroin, prostitution, segregation, and crooked cops to black people.
Mm.
So Nancy Pelosi, the most powerful woman in Congress, has done and said nothing to help her hometown because she hates the majority, which is 64% black.
Right.
So she uses Elijah Cummings to exterminate black Baltimore.
Mm.
And folks think because he's got a loud voice that sounds like some pimp preacher that he gives a damn. He doesn't. And so in D.C., I had a city council person tell me the month before last that it's a conspiracy of silence. No one talks about lead poisoning in D.C. There's a $3 billion lead poisoning suit in New York because in public housing they've used lead paint to kill and damage black women and babies for decades. So a lot of the crime, a lot of the learning problems and intellectual things and depression that you see is caused by lead. They know all about it. And they've refused to do it. The number one killer of black children under the age of, I think, 12 is asthma, but they won't tell you asthma is caused by lead in the air. Wow. Elijah Cummings knows. Guess what Elijah Cummings just did? Elijah Cummings introduced the bill. It's H.R. 4011. Go look it up. I'm not going to tell you the damn name of it. You know, when you do stuff, but black folks expect, use your own mind. When I tell you take notes, go look.
H.R. 4011.
It's a bill. It's a bill to make certain in the opportunity zones that Elijah Cummings and all the other people say that Trump and them aren't going to do. Now, what Elijah Cummings knows that I unfortunately feel about the opportunity zones is that they're going to build new housing, but it will be for whites, not black people.
Wow.
They're not building inexpensive housing. That's the problem I have with the opportunity zones. Okay, you heard me say that earlier. I don't kiss the Trump ass on everything. Some things, yes. Other things, I'll tell you when I don't agree or I have suspicions. Do you know that Elijah Cummings wants to make certain that for the opportunity zones that there isn't any lead, so the white folks won't have lead poisoning?
Oh, bless his heart.
In advance of it even being built, to make certain that there's no lead. But he won't do any similar legislation for his own black brothers and sisters that vote for him. And y'all wonder why I don't like Coons.
He's dangerous. He's dangerous because he can come as a brother, whereas if a KKK member showed up with the hood and shit, you'd be leery. Okay, I see what this guy's about, but this guy can stealth in as a brother and basically grab up all the goodies and take back to the master. Classic.
Not only that, we love him and think he's cool.
Are you sure we're not collectively suicidal? Like we're really searching out, instead of a Messiah, we're searching out an executioner, the one that will rise up and kill us all damn near.
Well, we already had that. We had Obama.
Well, we were halfway there with that, but I hope that we can somehow back up off.
We already had it. We had Obama. Don't change the subject. We've had it already. We had it with Obama, and some folks still like him, still like his broke back sellout, questionable birth certificate. Nobody's African. African's not a race.
Right.
All you coons out there, birth certificate. No birth certificate. Look, I was born 3 years after Obama. What the birth certificates would say is colored or Negro. They don't say African. There's nobody I know African with African on their birth certificate. It says black, African American, or never African, because they consider North Africa white.
Exactly.
Saying African could make him a white person, and they didn't want him to be classified as white. All these dummies out here. Black dummies, they're a disease. Stop being stupid. In fact, I've reached a conclusion now, and I'm not an elitist. But if black folks tomorrow were to shed all the lazy, stupid ones that don't want to get it, and maybe 10% of us survive, we'd be one of the mightiest nations on the earth. Some of them aren't worthy of being amongst us. We need to stop trying to keep people. They didn't have everybody run track with Jesse Owens. They would have lost to the Nazis.
Right.
They don't have everybody on the dream team basketball team that they sent to the Olympics.
Right.
The Tuskegee Airmen didn't let everybody fly with them.
Surely didn't.
If you were no good, we don't want you. We need to tell the black folks that are no good, we don't want you.
But those
one
are
of the
the
reasons
ones
that people, that white folk have loyalty, is that they have some exclusivity and some other really interesting things that make white value added beyond what it's really about. I'm not mad at them. Every group has a right to do this. So, no one said, when he came down, he said some anti-white things. I said, white folks practice some exclusivity. Everybody can't be in their group.
Right. Everybody can't go to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
I'm talking about white folks.
And you know what? And it works. And it works for them. And it's amazing. Black people imitate white people only in the pathological ways. Drug use, smoking, drinking, whoring, pedophilia, right? Atheism. But when white folks are setting up businesses and doing intelligence stuff, Negroes' eyes glaze over and fall asleep. I have a very close friend. I love them. But if you ever take them to like a lecture or something, and people are really intelligent,
Right.
that person will fall asleep. and they'll say, the first pyramid that Africans built in North America. But if you said, oh, well, the dinosaurs had very intense sex. That's very interesting.
Wow.
I mean, I said, wonder if they took a snack out while they were doing it. So, it's really, and I still love people. I ain't mad. But we'd be a great people if the stupid black folks, if the Malik Yorbas and the Barack Obamas and the John Lewises, and these people were not amongst us. And the other one, and that we didn't take fake knockoffs like Cardi B, and this dude that looks like he looks like the Fruit Loop Toucan Sam had AIDS. Who's this dude snitching on everybody?
No.
He does. I mean, I'm sorry, he looked like Fruit Loop with AIDS.
Oh my God. Who's that? Tashiki 69 or something?
Yeah, he's weak.
But it seems like we get rewarded the more. When I was a kid, we used to call it flamboyant. But it's like today, it's just like the more weirder you are, the more you get rewarded. I mean, look how many black transsexual shows there are. With black dudes being either gay or trans. Look how many brothers. Now I ask you, how many strong brothers?
And you know what's
going to
happen? Guess how many transsexual funerals you're gonna have too?
Oh, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't play that. You're gonna deceive me until I do a Crocodile Dundee and figure it out that you're not a chick. A lot of dudes will really spaz out, if you want to use that terminology, and probably hurt, if not kill somebody over such a disrespectful move. That's disrespect, doctor.
Well, the point is that deceit is a type of rape, right?
Right.
Come on, dude.
Right. Not only is it a type of rape, but it's also, like I said, it's a
psychological rape. You wanted cooch, and they want to give you
poop. They want to give you.
They want to give you zucchini and kiwi fruit. Okay, it's absolutely not going to work. Okay, and my thing is also, I have to say this to people like Malik Yoba. What is it that black men can't be friendly and cordial and caring for each other with the lights on?
Because that's the foundation.
But if I put on a wig and a skirt and some pumps, you'll give me a blowjob, but you wouldn't shake my hand or speak to me civilly in broad daylight. That kind of hypocrisy and filth and degeneracy insults my intelligence.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. You meet these black men and I don't like brothers. I only like women. I hate men. Turn the light out and they got their mouth on somebody's butthole. Sure they do. And they have this thing called the human centipede. I hope they don't do it out there. They do it in Atlanta. And you get like 10 people to put their mouths on each other's rear ends and play musical chairs.
Damn. It's like human centipede.
Yeah. And you put your mouth, and everybody's guzzling each other. And they get on all fours like a dog. And they need civil rights, and they were born that way. And that's just like grandpa and grandma. They just want to be respected. Really. I mean, really.
Don't we find it insulting, doctor, that the Fed can pump $107 billion into the economy, $97 billion every day next month in October, but for some reason we can't put up no money for reparations for people so that we can become economically viable?
Well, speaking of pumping, what are we pumping into ourselves other than semen and lead?
Oh God. That's the game plan though, doctor. That's the game plan, to destroy us psychologically and physically.
Yeah, well, we need to stop helping.
Well, yeah. But we got to quit listening to those Judas goats drumming us to our disaster.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stop following. In other words, we have to start putting some qualifications for people we're claiming to be our damn leaders. If you're not up to par, if you're not morally correct, if you're not physically fit, you can't be the leader. I don't care if your daddy was, I don't care if your uncle was, I don't care who was in your lineage. You, my friend, have to take a seat beside me on the pew, and we have to work together and follow the true leader. See, we always want to have teams.
Pause. Give me a pause for 1 second, please.
Okay.
Just 1 second.
You know, while the doctor's pausing, I do want to remind you, please support the doctor. He has a Cash App, Dr. Randy, Dr. capital R Randy, capital S short at Cash App. Please help him out. Anything would be appreciated, man. If we don't help each other out, you know, not only does the doctor do shows like this, but the doctor also goes down to the National Archives and research true history. And he shares it with us. All right. Now, unlike a lot of these carpetbaggers, the doctor ain't coming through with a shit ton of books and buy this pamphlet, buy this. No, he's low key with it and respectful. He's just he's not trying to get rich off this thing. He's just trying to day-to-day operations. And that's why I support him. And I support Sister Kathy Gangs. I don't have her Cash App right offhand. But Brother Ron from We All Be TV, please go to his channel on YouTube, big YouTube channel. If you can, donate to him too. You know, people out here need help. And if we don't stand up and say that we need help, then no one will ever help us. What did they say? A closed mouth can't get fed, yeah. All right. So, you know, I hope you do appreciate these shows. You appreciate their work. You appreciate their words. And I would appreciate it if you could show them some love. Unfortunately, with your dollars. Because that's where we're at. Until we can truly get liberated and free of this beast. You know, I mean, that's where I'm at. You're back, doctor?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So when one thing I want to point out, everything that we have talked about have one commonality. And I'm shocked. But homosexuality was in the mix, from Obama to the lead to the drug people doing drug sex and all that. This is why when we talk about these issues in a civil way, when no one's using no derogatory terms to describe anybody, but we do this out of love, because there's a lot of young brothers and sisters out there that if they don't have people like us in their lives, they will never hear this information. They'll think, no, if I want to become famous as a little boy, I got to put on a dress and go out here and do something. If I want to become famous as a little girl, I got to act like I'm a man. I got to be strong and hard, which destroyed so many families back in the day. You know, because after working all day fighting the world, you really don't want to come home to fight your female, to fight your woman over everyday little nonsense. Is it a deal, doctor, to where honestly, at the core of this, we all just don't really want to play the role that we were dealt our lot in life?
Well, let me tell you, it's rough as all get out, but I see hope still. I'm still optimistic. I don't feel like we can't win. My biggest challenge is a lot of us don't want to fight, except each other.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard these stories of these young guys in Chicago who are supposed to be gangsters, right?
Right.
They're shooting at babies. And when the police come, they throw their guns away and run.
What?
No, wait a minute. You'll shoot a black baby for practically nothing.
Yeah.
Because they're so big and bad. But when the cops show up, you throw your gun and run.
Wow. That's self-hate.
We're cowards.
Oh, even worse. Even worse. People don't understand What cowardly? Doctor, could you just tell the young people, like, let's say I was a 10-year-old boy and I asked you, Daddy, what does it mean to be a coward?
For me, a coward
Yeah,
or a bully is a person that does not have courage. Courage means they don't have any bravery. Bravery means that you will stand up in a situation where the odds don't favor you, but for a principle that you believe in, even if it's just your own safety. So I look at that. Imagine black folks in Baltimore, since Freddie Gray died, have killed nearly 2,000 of each other, but they couldn't get 6 police officers convicted for one murder.
Wow. Well, Dick Gregory told us if you wanted to get someone killed, send them to Baltimore. Those cops were known to kill people.
Yeah, but something else, though. But you mean the people stand for... Now, let me just say this, and I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything, but the police only kill black people because they know black people are cowards. They know black people are cowardly.
The cowardly lion. We roar, roar. But when it comes right down to it,
and I'm only saying to you that this stuff would stop tomorrow if a group of people said, if another policeman shoots an unarmed black person with their hands in the air or in their custody, we're going to harm someone.
Wow.
This would suddenly stop. The problem is nobody wants to lose their little bit for the collective. Everything is, what am I going to get out of it?
Exactly.
In fact, I got a little joke. What did the black parent say to the black child on their way to the concentration camp?
Oh, no. What did they say?
I get mine, you get yours.
Oh, stop. Will you quit?
We're very selfish.
Oh, no way.
We everything is individualistic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Hitler's all right. Well, Hitler don't like you. Hitler loves me. Hitler loves me because I know how to talk to people. I know how to get along. You know, you meet all these exceptional niggas out here. They make me say, well, see, y'all just don't know how to talk to people. Y'all going at it because I love when I meet these black folks that think they're exceptional.
Right.
You're an exceptional slave. There's nothing else exceptional about you.
Exceptional slave. That's it. But they don't want to hear that, doctor. They don't want to hear that diagnosis at all.
It's true. You're an exceptional slave.
Mm-hmm. We're not liberated.
You know what?
We're not liberated.
You know what? Well, black people, black folk know. Black people have an idea of, and I'm like, come on, fool. Come on, fool. I mean, y'all just need to understand something that, or I need the black one. Well, I can play ball. White men don't mind us. We start hearing about all these black women getting killed, and a lot of these black women missing. You know, white men are sick.
Mm-hmm. Take your ass out in the woods and kill you.
Their wallets are sick. And so all these that want to know where these 77,000, a lot of these black women missing, these white guys, a lot of them are sex. They're drug prostitutes. Mm-hmm. And some black men kill them. There have been 2 black serial killers in our community. By the way, they can kill a whole bunch of black women, but couldn't even say anything but yes, sir, to a cop with a gun, and they go, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. A black woman, bitch, I'll kill you. And they talk to their mother on their birthday.
Sick. But what you're talking about, the beast. I do got one question.
No, I'm not talking about the beast. I'm talking about the coon. Now, coon is a beast.
Yes.
Coonism is bestial. Stop being a coon. Now, I was saying to you in Baltimore, we're going to have a movement up in there because, you know, I always tell people the matriarch of my family is a woman by the name of Vermel Gray. Vermel Gray is my grandfather's first cousin because Vermel Gray had the same grandfather as my grandfather did, who was named Mr. Gray.
Mm.
And of course, in fact, I know they had the same grandfather or father or something like that. No, grandfather. Because my father's, no. My grandfather was her uncle. No, he wasn't her uncle. Hell, yeah, he was her uncle. And she was my father's first cousin. So what I'm trying to say to you is my cousins from North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and D.C. are named Gray. And Freddie Gray. Now you get my point. Take a good look at Freddie Gray and get a young picture of me, and we could have been brothers. Nobody wouldn't have assumed otherwise. Okay.
Wow.
By the way, Freddie Gray had lead poisoning. He was a person fighting to get restitution for being lead poisoned.
Wow.
They don't tell a lot of people that.
They don't tell nobody that. First time I heard that.
Well, see a lot going on. And by the way, they've been cheating and stealing the lead poison money from the victims. You know who gets most of the money? The lawyers get the money.
Oh, yeah.
But Freddie and all the people in Baltimore, not only is there lead poisoning, but there's gentrification. Of course, the police are brutal. I said to you earlier, there was a group that tried to deal with drugs in Baltimore that Nancy Pelosi's brother helped have them killed and destroyed, called Black October. Black October was a group of black men who were executing drug dealers in Baltimore. The old-fashioned way to get rid of drugs.
Right. The way that would happen if you go into a mob controlled area, they would kill you.
Well, the mob went to the FBI, and the mob went to the black mafia, and the mob went to the political machine, and the mob went to the boule. And the black elite and all of them agreed with the mob to kill the black people who wanted to get rid of drugs in Baltimore.
Way to go, boule! Yes, you guys rock.
Yeah, now you see why I don't like coons. Everything you see happening in Baltimore, coons could have done something to have a better outcome.
That's horrible. That's a horrible outcome. Brothers and sisters are on dope right now because these sick, twisted souls says it's cool.
And now the churches get a cut. They get paid for pushing methadone. And you know methadone, the people look like rejects from the Thriller dance scene.
Yeah, the little zombies.
Yeah, man, let me tell you, when I was going to collect trash, when you heard about people going to Baltimore, they're going to do something October 5th. I may be out there for a couple hours to haul trash. And again, maybe I won't because, I've done what I could do. Let me just tell you that the people, there's this little preacher that came up that looked like the Grinch that stole Christmas. He had a little nasty attitude. Yeah, he was a little light-skinned dude. He was like an orange Grinch that stole Christmas. And he had more steps on his belly than one of those Mexican pyramids. And he was boasting that, y'all don't have to do this by yourself. We have people from our group that are helping. And I was looking at the people, and they look like a cross between the Dawn of the Dead and Escape from the Planet of the Apes. That's how bad the black folk look. And I was trying to figure out, where have I seen black people look destroyed like this before?
Thriller.
And I couldn't, with Thriller and Dawn of the Dead and all of that, yeah. And The Morning After and so forth, all the horror movies and apocalyptic films. And then someone told me that they had methadone.
Oh, God.
And, they stopped doing methadone in a lot of places because methadone doesn't get you off heroin. It reduces your craving for heroin.
Right.
Which means it's addiction management, not addiction reduction or getting you off of it. So they have thousands of people addicted to methadone in Baltimore. And they know something else I'll tell you. Methadone interacts with lead.
Does it?
So you got all of this stuff and Elijah coming. supposedly a good man,
Get
has sat back and let this happen to his own hometown.
Can we break that down, Doctor? Think about it. You already have lead in the community at an elevated rate. You have Planned Parenthood right next to the liquor store, right next to the church. And then right next to that is the methadone clinic. So you have this guy who becomes a heroin junkie because the political people in the city wants that shit in there. When other men try to end that shit, they killed those men. So they pushing the dope onto the lead infected person, going to a diseased church, then going to a methadone clinic, and then probably organ felling out. And if that doesn't get you, they'll straight up pop you in the head and steal your organs.
Hopkins. I mean, those folks make Dr. Mengele look like the Tooth Fairy.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Johns Hopkins University is the foremost center for the study of lead poisoning, which means they know all about everything. And all they do is make little fancy papers that they deliver at conferences and sound liberal as they benefit from these people being destroyed.
So, yeah, they get paid while you're checking out. Ain't that the truth? A hospital bill is no joke.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I call it the objectification of poverty, like the objectification of women, objectification of black poverty. They're making huge amounts of money off black folks being broke, off black people being hungry, off black folks being desperate.
Yes, and sick, both mentally, physically. You know, look how many people in our community don't get the mental health care they need. For a multitude
I think
of
about
reasons.
all the Negroes who don't want it. Man, I'm okay. I've only been using cocaine 35 years.
Damn.
I'm not addicted.
I could quit any day, which will never come. The only time they're going to quit is when you put them in the ground. You know, but that goes back to the whole condition of the thing, doctor. When you're in a desperate situation, but you lie to yourself with these delusions of grandeur. No, I'm a king, I'm a queen, blah, 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 which in essence you're not, because kings and queens typically have a kingdom. They typically have subjects, and they typically have a era of being known as king and queen. You just don't pop up. And I think this type of mindset has been detrimental to us because when you fantasize, then you don't ever face reality. And that's the hard bit, yeah. We have to face reality on this. Because if not, then when we're going to the concentration camp, you had better get yours. Well, I ain't going to one. I'm going to fight at the home front, but you ain't going to, you get yours and I'll get mine, I guess. Because it's not, well, the doctor said these millennials, they don't care. They will stuff you in the oven, an easy bake oven, without a bat of an eye.
You know what? There will be so many black folks that say, man, black people have been y'all cooks for a long time. If y'all gonna put us in oven, we should be able to get those cooking jobs. That's what I'm talking about. If you're gonna put me in the oven, are y'all gonna have some hot sauce? I want to taste good if somebody eats me.
Yeah, motherfucker always want to be on the joke all the way to the bitter end. Yeah, I can see that going down, but they'll just stuff something in that dude's mouth and he'll just go on like the rest. You got some hot sauce.
And can you imagine the little gay ones to be making aluminum foil dresses to go in the country?
Oh, God. These heels match my blouse. But
can you imagine aluminum foil dresses? I have aluminum foil. We made this out of foil.
Well, that ain't gonna save them, Doc. You can be twisted. It ain't gonna save you because the verdict has already been handed down. Don't forget, a lot of these white nationalists are operating on the premise of genetic annihilation, meaning that if any of their bloodline becomes tainted with non-white blood, then that's a done deal. They don't realize that they themselves are a mutation of the original people. So therefore, they're prone to come back out in expression naturally throughout time anyhow. No one's genetically annihilating nobody else because we are all essentially one. Are you there, Doc?
Oh, yes, I'm here.
Okay. But
I'm here attending to my cat, Selfish. Selfish is, I just tell you that Selfish is really incredible. And Selfish is a straight up ghetto cat. And I can't believe that they let me go out the backyard and water my tomatoes and not try to make certain that I didn't feed any other animals. They are I'm telling you, I used to feed the squirrels and they ran the squirrels off.
yeah, they're territorial. They want all the goodies for themselves. Just like Cummins. Uh-oh. Your phone's breaking up. Or muffled up.
Hello?
Yeah, your phone was muffled or it's really low for some reason.
No, I was just saying to you that she urinates on the bread that we put out for the birds so they can't eat it. She's traumatized the squirrels so they don't come by. And she fights all the other cats. And if she sees me go out the back door, since she stays on the front side on the street side, she's always vigilant to make certain that I don't go to the door that it goes to the backyard, because the cat's out there. She's afraid that they'll get food she doesn't want. Not
Right.
food she wants, because the stuff I give to them, she doesn't eat. She just doesn't want me to give them anything.
Right.
And
Take all
so
and
she's
give
very
nothing.
bushy. She's like one of those boule wives that has a husband that's not completely a coon. But sometimes you meet people in the family, they're Greeks and Masons and all this kind of stuff, but they kind of have a little bit of community spirit.
Right.
So the husband has a little bit, but the wife's just a complete sellout bitch. I'm just so she even found out that you're gonna give away old shoes to the homeless people. Girl, throw that in the trash. Nobody's gonna wear that. Now mine just trash, but you just don't want something she bought for anyone to get anything out of except for we four and no more. That kind of black woman. Yeah, there are a lot of black women out there, man.
But once again, it's this Greek, Mason, Illuminati, elite, bourgeois mindset.
Eastern Star, get a pass because you have a vagina coon. Okay, vagina coons. Okay, those are sisters who coons think, well, just because I got boobs, I'm down for the movement. Yeah, only the movement up and down,
Wow.
not for the liberation of your people.
Don't forget round and round.
That's how you are.
But this,
and by the way, I'm not like Sotomayor. Mind you, I'm fighting for Reba Hawkins, and everybody should go to her website. It's RebaHawkins2020.org, RebaHawkins2020.org. Read her program. We are on the forefront, the spear tip of changing Black politics, at least to push and make a change, or at least force and scare the hell out of bald-headed Elijah Cummings and his crooked wife, Liah Rockymore. It should be Trickmore, because she had all these jobs in a short period of time. Come on, you come to town in D.C., you know how hard it is to get jobs in these big competitive places. You come to town without your PhD. You get a job your first week in town. You hold that job for about 4 months working for a congressman. Then you get another job. You don't hold that job for a year. Then you get another job with the most important black man in Congress. And then you're with him for about a year and a half, and before a year and a half is up, you're his chief of staff. And you're working on your PhD. Are you hearing me, Brother Patch?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
You think you could get all of that in such a short period of time and go back and forth and work on your doctorate?
That's a lot of
Have
work.
you ever heard anything like that?
No. That's
No.
why I'm
So
skeptical.
what does that lead you to think?
That somebody had a fine benefactor, someone who can make pencil moves for them.
No, I'm not talking about pencil moves. I'm talking about utensil moves. And I'm talking about thrusting pencil moves.
Mm.
How'd you get all that fast?
Yeah.
I know folk work for years in these offices and never get a promotion, doing good work. You're not even there, and you get promoted to the top in a year and a half? Sit down and think about it. You didn't even do 2 job reviews.
No, you couldn't have. Too short of time. Well, maybe 6 months apiece, but and you're already at the top.
No, yeah, because you were on the top. Female superior.
But you know,
That's
also
how I think.
it goes back to the Greek thing. You know, sometimes those people are getting those swats on those behinds and bananas and orifice because they know at the end they're going to get a promotion. They're going to get a break. They're going to be assigned to some sort of,
We need to change the word to homotion instead of promotion.
That is what it is. Homotion. Hoes in motion. Homos in motion. Ho motion. Because that's how they're going up in the so-called corporate world or government world. How many interns had to do a Monica Lewinsky, and the next thing you know, they're on some sort of committee? Next thing you know, they're a civil servant getting $100,000 or more a year with the option of retiring with a full pension.
I never knew riding a phallus was big on a committee.
Well, some would say it's the gateway to the seat. You got to ride before you sit.
Well, someone sure did ride.
And that's why they
ride
had no
on King
love.
Jesus.
Well, no, but I'm saying, doctor, that's why they don't care about the community. If you know that you had to go into this back room and do these nasty deeds that the community would like look down on you, of course that guilt, I can't help these people because if they found out what I did to get to where I'm at, they wouldn't be cool with me anyways. You know, how would most people feel if they knew?
They would ask you for tips.
Oh, God. I want to come up too.
You got any tips? I'm trying to come up.
That's horrible. That's absolutely. And
yeah, they would. Well, which testicle is most sensitive?
That's not right. This is what I'm saying. This is how we have known that we've fallen too far. Instead of coming up, you're supposed to shame these people. I'm not saying that you should. That's bullying. I take that back, censors. I'm not saying you're supposed to bully anybody, but you're supposed to look unfavorably towards certain attitudes and behaviors. All right. And if we can't do that, then you know what? We're done. We're done. As a society. Because this devilness can only go so far. You can only sodomize men and effeminize men and masculinize women for so long before the whole system falls apart. Because not everybody's on the freak train. There's a lot of good, decent, normal human beings. And I use those words on purpose.
They must be in St. Louis.
Well, we got our fair share of freaks out here for sure. But
it's just nasty here, Jesus.
I mean, you know, DC stands for Decadent City. You know,
that's for Dick City.
They got those O's on every stroll out there. You know, but that's
the problem. When I said that, people just bought tickets.
Hold on, we're going to DC. You know, and the thing about voting, and it comes back to that whole being a cuck, being a man that has something of value, that has something worthy of being protected, and you elect not to protect it, and you elect to see it be abused. That's a cuck. That's a man that has the power or should have the power, but he refuses to use it. And I think you said it best. Coward.
That sounds like Elijah Cummings and John Lewis.
Well, and many more.
Did you play that video? We need to do a John Lewis show. Did you see that video I sent you where John Lewis is saying, set the country free for the pedophile bill? Let everybody do what they want, set the country free?
Wow. No. And I can't get it from my messages on my cell phone either. But I can pull it up on YouTube.
You need to look at John Lewis's comments on the Equality Act, where he's called on people to set the country free. And by the way, I want to just tell you, my mother ran out the house. You called me. I was going to call my mother. They're going to do testimonies because they're going to have the Community Safety and Health Amendment Act of 2019, which would legalize pimping.
What?
Owning brothels and sex purchases in D.C.
Hold on. I think I got.
Go and testify on October 17th. I got to fill in my paperwork.
That.
So I can come in and tell people that I'm opposed to this.
Well, if that goes through.
Equality is so important to me. From the time that I was a young child, growing up in rural Alabama.
Oh, he does look like.
And I saw
He does look like a black Grinch, don't he? Hold on.
those signs that said white men, colored men, white women, colored women. I dreamed that the day would come, and I would stand up and speak out against discrimination. We're one people, we're one family. We all live in the same house. We must respect the dignity and the worth of every human being. It is a must that we do what is right, what is fair, and what is just. This is the time.
I don't know why he's doing his lips like that, but if you could see this video, I don't know.
To pass the Equality Act. We need it to set all of our people free.
Wow. Yeah, well, that was just a little excerpt that the doctor was talking about. I want to put it on this one where you see his lips looking, because all I can think about is what he had to slurp on to get to where he's at. Because this is sad. He's trying to equate traditional racist concepts with homosexuality and pedophilia as if those are actual legitimate rights that should be protected. No one even knows that you're getting down as long as someone ain't getting hurt. As long as someone's not taking videos. If two men are sleeping together, you don't even know what they do because they'll never have a baby. Now, if a man and a woman having normal sex, I don't care what their status is, single, married, whatever, the potential they could have a baby. That's why I'm against abortion. Most of those abortions are covering up for people stepping out of the relationship. This is the culture of death. And I'm not going to listen to this Judas goat take us all into the slaughterhouse. You know, if you think that being normal is a bad thing, if you think that a man loving a woman is wrong, if you think that having babies is horrible, then you are a part of the problem. Because if it wasn't for someone laying together and then someone sitting up there for 10 months with a baby, and then that baby coming out, you yourself wouldn't be here. And you're going to have the audacity. Most of us don't even know what's up and what's down for real, but you're going to have the audacity to determine whether this person can live or not. And it's a person, whether you call it a fetus or not. It's a human being. Given enough time, it will breathe life. But that's the culture of life, you see. Only people who love life will get that. Most of you deaf, loving, hate-filled scumbags out there. Not you listeners. I'm just talking in general out there in society. Full of deceit and evil. Even when you have the power, you cluck out. You won't use your power. You are a part of the problem. All I ask is that you move away, move to the side, and allow those with the fortitude and the moral compass to lead the way. There's nothing wrong with that. This is really disturbing. You have this old head promoting endorsing in so many ways the abuse of children. What a monster. Doctor, you still there? Hello, doctor? Well, the NSA must have cut us off. Well, yeah, I was expecting to have Dr. Short on. I'm glad we did. This has been TPIM SR Live. Today's date, September 25th, 2019, the year of our Lord. As always, I ask you to live your life of integrity without hate, envy, or greed. And brothers and sisters, please, let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace, power, unity, victory, liberation. I'm out.